Signal Deep Clean ලොව අංක එකේ Tynex කෙඳිවලින් නිපදවා ඇත.
The fuel needs of the general public are currently being fulfilled through refilling stations belonging to the Lanka Indian Oil Corporation, while it also sells fuel to the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation to fulfill issuance to essential services. Due to this situation, demand for fuel that was once divided among the Sipetco and the Lanka IOC refilling stations have now been diverted to the Lanka IOC refilling stations. Managing Director of Lanka IOC Manoj Gupta, taking to Twitter, announced that they will not issue fuel to the general public today and tomorrow due to protests that have been planned to take place. He went on to say that even though they will not issue fuel to the public, their Trincomalee fuel terminals will remain open and continue to issue fuel to the CPC and for industries. The LIOC Managing Director further stated that they will resume distributing fuel to the general public starting from Sunday morning. Meanwhile, as people continue to queue outside LIOC refilling stations for days and nights, many continue to be on edge and are frustrated by having to wait in queues. Due to this, multiple instances of violence and tensions have been reported. Yesterday, an escalation of a tense situation which took place at a Love's refilling station in Magalla, Gaul, led to the murder of an individual. The situation had begun when a person who arrived in a car attempted to jump the queue that had been formed outside the refilling station. As the individual proceeded to park his car in between the gap of two vehicles, a group of people behind the person who had attempted to jump the queue protested against the move. As such, the individual had proceeded to call some of his associates who later arrived at the location carrying knives and swords and attacked the youth who had protested against the person who jumped the queue. As tensions escalated, a 25-year-old youth who sustained injuries was admitted to the Karapidia Teaching Hospital along with 3 others. However, the 25-year-old had died upon admission. The 25-year-old victim was identified as Achira Salinda, a resident of Vanchavala in Gaul and a graduate of the General Sir John Kotalavala Defence University. The police said 7 suspects, including 2 main suspects, were arrested in connection with the murder. In other developments, bus and railways trade unions have announced that they will boycott services if fuel is not provided for employees to report to their places of work. The Sri Lanka Transport Board workers announced that they will withdraw from duties if they are not provided with the required amounts of fuel to report to their places of employment. Further, the chairman of the Station Masters Union, Sumedha Somaratna, stated that if there is no proper arrangement to supply fuel to railway employees, the train services will be called off without prior notice. In the meantime, in a letter addressed to the Minister of Public Administration, Dinesh Gunawardana, chairperson of the Women's Parliamentarians Caucus, Dr. Sudarshani Fernandopulle, said that due to the fuel crisis, expected mothers employed in the government sector to be mandatorily reassigned to workplaces closer to their residences. She also went on to say that if they cannot be relocated to institutions close to their residences, they should be given the opportunity to carry out their duties online under a work-from-home mechanism. Meanwhile, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has held discussions with the 2 representatives from a Russian oil firm that arrived in Sri Lanka yesterday. The representatives are said to have also met with Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara and Governor of the Central Bank Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe.